Welcome to the Shreveport Connection with Tommy. This video is on SmackDown, Superstars, and what happened after Raw. And here we go. What happened after Raw went off the air. John Laurinaitis hit the ring with a steel chair, tap for John Cena. However, Cena ducked and hit the former Raw General Manager and Executive Vice President of Talent Relations with the Attitude Adjustment. Big Show then tried to attack Cena, but was put to rest with the Attitude Adjustment himself. In her first night as Raw GM, AJ was referred to as AJ Lee. It is the alias that she used in WWE Developmental Florida Championship Wrestling from 2009 to 2010. Also, I believe it was on NXT as well when it was announced in August 2010 that she would be part of the third season of NXT. There you go. The last name was dropped. She was simply referred to as AJ. However, she maintained the AJ Lee name on her Twitter account. Speaking of John Laurinaitis, he turned 47 years old on Tuesday. That was yesterday. Announced Monday that Laurinaitis has resigned from his position as Senior Vice President of Talent Operations, citing burnout as his reason for resigning. He will continue to work for the company as a producer, assisting talent with their matches as well as performer. Also celebrating birthday Tuesday, Luchador El Texano Jr., who turned 28 years old. WWE announced Tuesday that WWE Studios No One Lives will debut at the Toronto International Film Festival in September. No One Lives, which will feature Brodus Clay in a supporting role, will premiere at TIFF's Midnight Madness as part of its special presentations and galas programs. TIFF runs from September 6th to the 16th. It is described as smart and original horror movie about a killer in the grip of a dark and twisted love affair. In addition to Clay, No One Lives features Luke Evans, from Clash of the Titans, Immortals, and The Raven, Adelaide Clemens from Silent Hill, Revelation, Derek Magyar, Lee Turkinson from Texas Chainsaw Massacre, The Beginning, and America Olivo from Friday the 13th. The four workers played the White Coats. That was on Monday Night Raw, and escorted Daniel Bryan backstage. At Raw last night were indie Fed guys from local Jamin Olivencia, Matt Mason, Joey Vengeance, and Dylan Bostic. Olivencia, Mason, and Vengeance are War Wrestling and Ohio-based workers, while Bostic comes from Indiana. There are two possible scenarios as how the fire that may have started at the Raw event. First scenario is that one of the pyros discharged accidentally, while the other scenario is the pyro was set too close to the side panels during testing. English wrestler Andre Tyson, aka MVK Valkabias, who signed a developmental contract with WWE earlier this year and is awaiting to travel to Florida, was arrested in England over the weekend following a barroom brawl bust-up. Yorkshire Evening Post reported that a scuffle broke out in one of the booths at the back of the bar, and Tyson was asked to leave but resisted the security staff, who tried to have him escorted. Police, who were already patrolling the street, arrested Tyson and another man. Tyson admitted to assaulting the man following the incident and was given caution. American males Marcus Alexander, Buff Bagwell, and Scotty Riggs recently sat down with BDSIR's Mike Knox, Chris Spotface McClain, Mr. Lopez, and KME. During the interview, Bagwell explained his recent arrest on reckless driving. Bagwell said that he was walked in on his dead friend on April 12th, and at the end of April flipped his Jeep, and his doctor put him in a self-induced coma for 3 to 4 days. He suffered a broken jaw, broken nose, broken eye socket, which were fixed, but had broken his neck again. On July 9th, Woodstock police took a warrant for his arrest, even though his car was the only one in the accident. He thought he had a seizure stemming from his accident, which his brainwaves confirmed. Bagwell says in the state of Georgia, even if you are God, they take a warrant for your arrest. You've got to go to jail, turn yourself in, get fingerprinted as they set a court date in court. You can tell your story. Bagwell was going to turn himself in on Wednesday, and the court knew, but they came over Monday and arrested him anyway. Because the papers were filed didn't go through. Following the car accident, his wife told him that it was 14 years to the day that he broke his neck in WCW, April 22nd, 1998. Bagwell says he plans on wrestling again soon, but hasn't been medically cleared. And then Scotty Riggs joined the show. Knox asked him why WCW took the tag belt off the American males in 1995 after only 1 week. Bagwell said that they were the cutting edge of the new generation wrestlers with earrings and goatees. Since the good guys in the early 90s, baby faces were still clean cut. He says that they were fighting an uphill battle from day one, but he and Scotty wanted to fight their own battles. He feels they were both good wrestlers. My eyes, they still would be. Riggs said Kevin Sullivan and Jimmy Hart were in charge and wanted them to be more like the Rock and Roll Express or the Fantastics, and they weren't. He says, though the gimmick caught on with the fans, it wasn't what the office wanted. Bagwell stated that he respects the veterans, but they knew their style was coming up. Luger and Sting ragged on them and thought it was uncool, and none of the other wrestlers dug it at first. But once the NWO came out and had a similar style, it was more acceptable. Bagwell stated that they were doing music videos before the NWO did the WCW did, and WCW spent $80,000 on them. Riggs said that they were the only babyface tag team during their run. Spotface asked the American males working a dark match in 1995 Starrcade. Bagwell said that he didn't mind working a dark match because it meant you were on your way. Mr. Lopez asked Bagwell about his various partners. Bagwell says he thinks he is the only guy to have the tag belts with about 4 or 5 different guys in WCW, and he loves tag team wrestling. Bagwell also stated the American Males and Harlem Heat had some of the greatest matches ever in WCW, but when he wrestled Booker T in their first match in WWE, it was bad and were booed out of the building. KME asked Bagwell why did WWE had him wrestle Booker T in Tacoma, Washington, rather than the site of the following week's show, Atlanta, Georgia, his home state. Bagwell believes that they had a match in Tacoma because they planned to fire him. Bagwell and Riggs also talked about Bagwell's crowd reaction when Vince McMahon said his name on television. Rumors about Bagwell's mother telling Jim Ross that his son was too sick to work. Promises Jim Ross made to Bagwell, Chris Benoit, Bagwell's fight with Shane Helms, wrestler's death, and more. And you can follow up on pwmania.com for more info. Interactive features at WWE live events that are starting up continue with more fan involvement and more promos for the talents to hype their matches that night. You can get involved with them at their local live events before the show starts. WWE is asking fans to tweet about the event with their city in hashtags. For example, a message or photo with, I'm going to say WWE Shreveport or WWE Bossier City. Attached will get your tweet shown on the big screen during your live event. WWE officials have reportedly decided on Wade Barrett's return. He's also sporting a new look. He's got a full beard, nice clean beard. If you've seen the picture, he kind of looks like a bearded Sylvester Stallone. He's even got the sunglasses and to match. And he should be returning imminently, but one source says likely he won't return until after SummerSlam. And in his absence, during his injury, Wade was filming a movie while out, as reported on May 3rd, 2012. And he's co-starring with Colin Farrell. And is in Philadelphia, shooting supporting role in the upcoming studio's film called Dead Man Down, a romantic thriller starring Colin Farrell as a crime lord, plus Terrence Howard, Armand Asante, Dominic Cooper, and Naomi Rapace. Hope I pronounced that Rapace, whichever. R-A-P-A-C-E. Well, WWE partnered with I Am Global on the $30 million project. No word on what Barret Wade's character is. Dead Man Down is scheduled for a 2013 release, with WWE promoting the film. Scott Hall did not appear at an advertised Saturday for an outsider's return at the Frank and Son Collectible Show in the City of Industry, California. According to multiple accounts on Twitter, he was to have reunited with Kevin Nash as the former New World Order cohorts Bagwell, Conan, and Scott Steiner for an autograph signing. But I downloaded some pictures, and he was in the photos. Scotty Riggs tweeted that Marcus Bagwell is doing phenomenal after his former tag team partner was involved in a serious car accident 2 months ago while traveling near his hometown of Marietta, Georgia. The former WWE superstar has plans to return to the square circle soon, as I reported earlier. And that came straight off his Twitter site. He finally commented on my asking about how buff the stuff was doing. Former WWE superstar, MVP, and Chavo Guerrero confirmed that Lucha legend Conan is now on Twitter. And you can follow him at twitter.com/Conan. It's a Konnan 5150. And Conan wrote, I got to the Twitter party late, but I am finally here. No looking back. Looking forward to hooking up with old and new friends. Peace. WWE has issued an apology for a video Tensai posted on late Monday night following Raw on a video sharing network tout that could be perceived as racially insensitive toward Asian people. While in character, Lord Tensai, none other than real name Matt Bloom, clearly took his storyline too far, and he will be reprimanded for his inappropriate comments. WWE statement reads, which was issued to multiple wrestling news outlets by company spokesman Kevin Hennessy. The video, which has since been deleted, showed him traveling with his personal chauffeur, Sakamoto, to Indianapolis, the site of last night's SmackDown tapings, following Raw, and he remarked that it's very, very dangerous to drive with a Japanese person. They then smacked Sakamoto on the head, and he drove and ordered him to open his eyes. Another racially charged remark towards Sakamoto was made on Raw commentator Jerry King Lawler, equipped by the following: the Tensai versus Tyson Kidd match. When Tensai beats up Sakamoto, he changes his name to Something Wrong. Fun Something Wrong. Well, Superstars taped 3 matches and a dark match from Indianapolis, Indiana. Dark match, Brothers Clay defeated local wrestler, unknown. Superstars taped Tyson Kidd defeating Heath Slater. Divas champion Layla defeated Natalya. And your main event was Cody Rhodes beat Justin Gabriel in the main event. Alright, now for SmackDown. Announcers were introduced, however Booker T was not with them. This is likely the part of a general manager angle that was teased earlier by WWE's tech service earlier during the day. So they gave a spoiler before the show even happened. Vince McMahon announces Booker as the new general manager to start off the show. Alberto Del Rio comes out to talk about not competing until SummerSlam. Sheamus comes out and they exchange words. Booker makes Del Rio versus Orton for later, and Sheamus versus Tensai immediately. Of course, the tech service indicated that Booker was the rumored general manager, which makes me not particularly stunned, but not particularly surprised since they already released the news. It was actually given the job. By the way, Booker appointed Teddy Long to the position of senior advisor. Match number one. Sheamus defeated Tensai. Booker was backstage with Eve. She sucked up to him, and to get a job in his administration, Teddy Long offered offered a senior advisor to the GM job. Booker gave Teddy the chance to tell Eve that there is no more job openings. Match number 2, Antonio Cesaro defeated Santino Marella in a non-title match. Backstage segment with Matt Striker with Daniel Bryan showed a recap of Monday's Raw with the psychiatric doctor. Striker asked Bryan if he has thoughts, and he said no. The camera panned out, and he had no t-shirt. He told the crowd to chant yes, and said that he would be saying no more often. Of course, the crowd chanted yes. The orgasm to his dismay. Match number 3, Daniel Bryan, The Miz, and Dolph Ziggler defeated Chris Jericho, Kane, and Christian in a 6-man. The heels won while Bryan rolled up Jericho. Striker interviewed Randy Orton backstage and welcomed him back to the show. Orton mentioned Alberto Del Rio being #1 contender for the world title. Orton said he'll defeat Del Rio tonight. WWE announced the Survivor Series is coming to Indianapolis on November 18th. The password for the pre-sale is Series. Match number 4, Ryback defeated Jinder Mahal by disqualification. The DQ came after Jinder made him hit him with what appeared to be a microphone, and then Mahal ran up the ramp in fear of Ryback. Next up was primetime players, including AW, were shown walking backstage. Commercial break. Darren Young with Titus O'Neil and AW beat R-Truth. AW introduced his team as usual, and used his headset mic at ringside again. Layla congratulated Booker backstage. Cody Rhodes showed up and said he hopes that ending Booker's career earlier this year doesn't affect his working relationship. Booker then booked Sin Cara versus Rhodes for next week. And your main event, Randy Orton defeated Alberto Del Rio with Railroad Rodriguez by disqualification. Ricardo entered the ring and attacked Orton as he was going to set up the RKO, which caused a disqualification. They both went up the ramp when Sheamus ran down behind Del Rio, threw him back inside the ring into Orton's RKO. Orton posed to the fans as the taping ended. Dark match main event. John Cena defeated Big Show and Cody Rhodes in a handicap match. Cena won after Big Show accidentally knocked out Rhodes again. Same old for the last 3 months. Cena hit the Attitude Adjustment on show and pinned Cody for the win. John Laryngitis came out with a chair and hit Cena in the midsection with it. Cena went for the Attitude Adjustment, but he grabbed the mic and said he whispered that it was his 50th birthday. Cena said he got him a gift, had Charles Robinson blindfold him and hit him with a cake that was conveniently under the ring. Laurinaitis went to hit Cena with a chair, but Cena hit the Attitude Adjustment this time to send the fans home happy. And that ends my results for this week for SmackDown and Superstars.